everybody, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to do a short video on showing you how to prep petals or leaves that need to be wired. Now if you've seen my other videos, you'll notice that a lot of the flowers actually call for the leaves or the petals, or sometimes both, to be wired, and we're going to see how to do that in detail today. So for today's video, and for the purpose of showing you how to wire a leaf, I've got the template for a leaf and I've got some cutouts in green crepe paper. I've also got wire that's cut out that we're going to use to actually stick to these leaves. Now, usually when I'm cutting out wire, I basically buy an entire roll of wire from my local hardware store. It's a big spiral bundle of wire, looks like a little bit like a slinky, and that's what I use for all my flowers, whether they're paper or fabric flowers, and you'll see me use them in my other videos as well. The reason behind this is I can cut it to whatever length I like. Also, if I go to a craft store and I buy the already prepped wire, they'll either come in a shade of green or brown or at the most white. But if I need to have wires prepped to attach to petals, that's going to pose a problem with the ready wires. This way I can use pretty much any color paper I want and have the wires concealed, or rather attached to the petal, the leaf, very discreetly. Another reason I like to use paper is because with a strip of paper you can adhere that to your actual paper leaf or petal a lot easier than it would be to, let's say, adhere a wire covered in floral tape to paper. Alright, so let's look at how to do this now. I'm going to use the same sheet of paper that I've used to cut out my petals, right? And I'm going to cut a thin strip of paper out of it. Just like that. Right, now since my paper is double-sided, I'm actually going to split that paper in two. So I get two strips of paper. Sometimes you just need to coax those two sides to kind of separate. Once you've got the corner split, it's as easy as just pulling it apart right through to the end. And there you have it. Now you'll notice that sometimes with double-sided crepe paper you have two different shades of a color or two different colors. Yeah? It's totally up to you which shade you'd like to use as the right side of your leaf, the wrong side of your leaf, and what color you'd like to have the wire covered in. Alright? So let's take a look at how to actually cover these wires now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a small dab of glue on one end of the wire. And let's see, I'm going to take one of the strips of paper that I've cut out, right? Straighten that up so that you don't have it curling on itself. Alright, so I'm going to start with one end of the wire and the paper at a downward slant, right? With a little bit of the corner over the length of the wire, I'm going to bring that top corner down, just like so, and the left hand side then goes to the inside of the wire. So that's what you're left with, a nice clean edge. Then, holding the paper downwards at a downward angle with one hand, you're going to gently twirl that wire with the other, just like this. And you keep twirling. This twirl needs to be nice and taut so that you get a clean finish on your flower, your stem, your petal. Keep going till you reach the end and a little further past the end. What then happens is that paper will just simply snap off. Right? Let's have a look at it again. So a tiny dab of glue on one tip of the wire, paper angled downwards. You're going to wrap this corner of the paper over, press it down so that that glue holds, wrap the left hand corner of that paper over again. So what you're left with is a nice clean finish. and using the thumb and your forefinger, you're going to twirl that wire. Make sure that this paper on this side does not curl on itself. Keep twirling till you reach the end of the wire. And when you get a little past the end, the paper will just snap off. Now you will have noticed that this particular piece of wire is a lot longer than what I actually recommend. I actually recommend about an inch and a half more than the length of your actual leaf or petal. And these are leaves that I'm prepping for my crepe paper roses. So when you get to the video on how to make crepe paper roses, you're going to see why I've left this a little longer than my usual length. Alright? Okay, now that we've got the wires covered, let's put those strips aside. Your next step is to actually attach your wire to the cutouts of your leaves. Simple process. What I do is I find the neatest tip of the wire, see approximately how long that leaf is, and I'm going to put a little glue on that wire. There we are. And I'm going to stick that down. There you have it. You'll notice now that I've opted to use the same shade of green as that on the right side of my leaf, which works out fine for me. Again, like I said, color options completely up to you. Pick a glue that dries clear. This is a regular craft PVA glue. The bottle, I will actually state that it dries clear. It's multi-purpose, yeah? So once this is dry, you won't see traces of any excess glue that might have been applied to the wire, right? So that, guys, is how I actually prep my leaves or even petals when they're called for in the tutorial. So if the tutorial calls for a wired leaf or petal, this is how you do it. I hope this video has helped you understand the process a little better, and I hope you join me in my next video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.